Hello everyone and welcome back to our latest episode in our series When Star Trek Doesn't Make Sense. Today we'll be covering the film Star Trek V: The Final Frontier. This film is widely considered to be the worst of the classic Star Trek movies. Now if we bring in the Kelvinverse, that's not necessarily true, but that's a different subject. So in particular today we're going to be looking at some of the major issues with the movie and a possible way to fix this. One of the first problems is how long it takes to travel to the center of the galaxy. Based on current estimates, the center of the galaxy is located about 26,000 light years from Earth. So just to go over these calculations quickly, since we've covered a lot of this in previous videos. In the movie it said that the Enterprise is traveling at warp 7, which on the TOS scale is about 343 times the speed of light. So traveling at this speed, it would take the Enterprise A about 76 years to get to the center of the galaxy, which is obviously not reasonable in the context of the movie, where it seems to take as little as hours, or at the most days. Another, infamous issue is the Turbolift shaft scene, as we can see here. It's hard to know wherever to begin because just about everything with this scene is wrong. For one, the deck numbers are increasing from the bottom, which is the opposite of what we see anywhere else in Star Trek. They pass the same deck multiple times during this sequence. And there are far too many decks. Here we can see at least 78, which is far too many decks for the Enterprise A. Even the Enterprise D did not have that many decks. I say this scene in particular is worth not only a facepalm, but a double facepalm. And there are other issues we could get into as well, but suffice it to say that Star Trek V has a lot of problems. But what can we do about this? Is there a way to fix it? Well, there just might be. The key laying in the camping scenes that occur at both the beginning and the end of the movie. In particular, let's focus on the song for a moment that they sing, "Row, row, row your boat," and this line, "Life is but a dream." So we propose the theory. What if everything that happens between the two camping scenes is part of Kirk's dream and is not really happening? This would easily explain all the problems that are present in the movie. So let's see if this theory holds up. For one, let's see, are there any references to the events of Star Trek V outside of the movie? Computer, check historical database.
Accessing library computer data.
Search for Cybok. Nope, nothing there. How about Shaka-Ree, also known as Kuitu or Vorta Vor? Nope, nothing there either. One more check. What about Nimbus 3, the planet of galactic peace? Turns out Nimbus 3 does appear on a star chart in the Stellar Cartography Lab from Generations. However, that's all we know about it. No specific references to the events of the movie. So no contradiction to our theory there. The closest thing I could find to a mention of the events of Star Trek V elsewhere in Star Trek was in the TNG episode Evolution, which was the first episode that aired after the movie was released. We see the following line. There has not been a systems-wide technological failure on a starship in 79 years. Which was intended, apparently, to be a reference to all the problems that the Enterprise was having in the movie. However, this reference is not very specific, and in-universe could refer to any number of things, so I don't think that's a problem for our theory either. Another possible drawback to the theory would be the prologue. Before the first camping scene in the movie, there is a scene where Cybok recruits one of his followers. So how do we explain this if it's all a dream? Well, for one, this could just be an example of a dream from a previous night, and Kirk is apparently dreaming in chronological order. Or even more so, Star Trek V could be an example of nonlinear storytelling, where events from his dream are interspersed with his real-life time with his friends while he's camping. And so, Star Trek V is not only underrated, but in fact ahead of its time. So if all this is true, I suggest that Star Trek V might be better named as Star Trek V, Life is But a Dream. Thanks to Professor Brady Specs for proposing this title, as well as editing this excellent version of the poster here. What do you guys think? Does this theory make sense, or do you think it's nonsense? Feel free to leave your comments down below. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you have a blessed day.